You're listening to Polymatic.media, episode 98 for January 2023. Welcome to the Polymaticast. Hey, John, how's it going?
It's going pretty well. What about you?
It's going well enough. I've been here, I guess, almost 4 months. So, I don't know. Reflecting on the world seems like a blur, even in the last 4 months. Yeah. So that's my life is just sort of, I don't know what it is anymore. It doesn't feel normal yet because all the projects I have sort of around here are sort of in flux until I can afford the next phase of them. And I'm not at that point where like I get hit a Saturday and it's like, I just want to laze out on the couch and watch TV. I can't have that moment yet. I don't have a couch. I don't have like the laser projector set up. I don't have the laser projector. Like, I don't have the blinds yet. Next Friday. It only took them 4 months.
You're looking like you're about to be abducted. That's about.
Yeah. It's only been like 3 months. I think it's about 3 months, 3.5 months or something. So I finally got them on schedule. All the stuff came in. So it literally took them 2.5 months basically to make custom blinds for all 9 freaking windows. So,
that's a lot of. Was it very expensive?
Yes. And then of course, installation should have been included, and I think it was, but they had some adjustment. So of course they're like, "All right, you can schedule your appointment, and you owe us another $30." I was like, "All right, you just
what?" Oh, installation. Okay.
Yeah, for the installation. I was just like
installation.
You do know how much you're charging me for all of this? Of course they do.
Hey, you could install it yourself.
Well, the whole point of not going over to one of the hardware shops and just getting all this stuff and figuring it out on my own is they're less likely to screw it up on the first try compared to me, because this is what they do. Whoever the installer is, this is their 24/7, or okay, not 7, but this is their primary job. So they'll come in and they'll do it. It'll be probably a couple hours and it'll be done correctly. And any of the challenges that they might hit because my windows are bigger or smaller than some whatever average, right? They're going to know all those things, and I don't have to worry about sort of cut size measurements and going over to like Home Depot and having them cut down the blinds to size and screw up, put the wrong one in, put the wrong holes. I don't have to ruin my house immediately. I can let them do that.
Or you can do it eventually.
No, I mean, after 3 months, I want some blinds.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not like...
You don't want to flash your neighbors in the first few months, right?
Right. I mean, I have a bathroom for that. But, my point is that, there's no thought in my head to want to walk around naked anyways. But the point is that if there's something, everyone gets to see it. So I don't know that anyone's took a telescope out and is like trying to watch me, but who knows? I want my privacy. That's the point of the blinds.
Yeah.
And also not to have the sun completely blaring at me at, top of the morning on Saturday. Like this. Yeah. So
for everybody else's mental view, it looks like Alan is about to be abducted by aliens. Oh, there's a very bright light in a column coming from behind him. Like some door opened up behind him, into the alien spaceship.
Got it. That's what you see. Well, if I had blinds up, you wouldn't see that. In this case, the house is not the highest of the houses around here, because there are some neighbors that are a little higher up on the hill. So of course they're elevated higher. But my one neighbor across the street who I've not met, their house is not tall enough. So you can their tallest window can see maybe my window, but I don't think anyone has like a magnifying, no one's looking at me anyways. But the point is that I don't think their window is high enough up that they could see in here anyways. So.
Yeah. Did you get anything good for Christmas?
Yes. The answer to that is yes. It's interesting. So with the gifting, I just look. I'm not getting. I do get one or two people super expensive gifts. One gift for one friend because his birthday is on the 1st. So he sort of gets he gets some reasonably double nice gifts or something from me. But outside of that, I don't normally spend a tremendous amount of money on people. And I'm gonna say I'm spending $5. I'm spending a little bit, right? And it's not about the value. It's just about like a good gift that's reasonable. If I was just a few friends, I'd spend probably, do the same for let's say 3 people, but it's not. It's like 15 people. So, when you spend $40 times 15, it really adds up really fast. And then, you got to do something for work. And then I take care of, lately, I've been getting custom things for people for the podcast, right? For like OGN. So I've been getting little custom things. And then I send them off. And of course, shipping costs. So like all this stuff adds up really quick. So I'm not used to people spending money on me is the central point of it. And it's not that I get irritated by it. But I'm not used to someone spending more than $20 or something of a thought, because that's just how they gift. And the last year, and I guess technically this year, a couple people are just spending money on me now, which is weird for me. It's like, oh, this is like a real gift. This isn't like a DVD of a thing, whatever. That was $20. So one gift that got me is Astro Boy Lego.
I thought I recognized the Lego box behind you, but
but it's not official Lego. It's from Tessica Productions. So I opened it up and I was like, oh, I may I'll dump all the parts out. I'll put this together. I'm like, oh no, I gotta look at the packet, compartmentalize it with all its parts, and I gotta read these instructions to put this thing together. So one of these days, it's gonna be a full effort to like maybe put that thing together. Don't say stream, because it's gonna be like a dozen streams, right? If I do it on stream, I'm committing myself to do it for hours. And I don't think I'll be able to get through that.
I hours. Got I don't know if I can show you this. Let me see. I can switch over. Let me see if it does it. If it works. Can you see my desk?
Yes.
So I have my top view camera that I'm using
Big
for streams.
Pad.
Yep.
Or desk pad, I should say.
I can use that for streaming. Legos. I guess I used to do the streams on my my workbench.
Yeah.
But standing there for like 6 hours, it kind of hurts. Hurts a lot if you're just standing there all day.
Yeah, so I found it ironic. I assembled a lot of this Ikea furniture, and some of it, you twist and contort to sort of get things in place correctly, get the right angle or something to let it snap in, and then you put the little, you build all that stuff. And I did those things in, like, for example, the dresser. I spent a couple hours to build the framing of the dresser. Then I was like, all right, that's enough. I'm going to go do something else, right? And this was at a point where I was like hustling all day, right? Like I probably up and down, around and moving around this house. I was probably putting 5 miles of like exercise on me for the first 2 months. And so I was like, all right, I just spent 3 hours on this stupid thing and I'm not done yet. I gotta build the drawers. Like, screw this. I'll do this later. And then 2 weeks later, I finished the drawers out, and then, I have everything. So I took a very long time to build these things. When I built these ECATs, I did them all at one time because, I built 1, I built 2, and then I built 5. I didn't stream any of that. And then I popped on Twitch one day and I saw there was like a whole category for people building furniture. And then there was this girl who was streams. Like, she was half-assing building an ECAT. And I was trying to and I was just trying to offer some help because she was struggling. And she's like, I don't know how to do it. She was complaining to, everyone, her audience that was watching her. And I'm like, I just built a bunch of these. This goes here, and you got to look for this indicator, and da, da, da. And of course, I'm not even being heard because the chat was rolling and was large enough but anyhow, there was a building furniture, not like in a workshop, like building IKEA furniture category, and I thought that was just, I was like, some part of me was like, that's absurd, but I was like, no, I just been through this. People will stream anything. Yeah. And when I build more furniture, I'm not going to be streaming it. I'm just going to go build it.
Yeah. I'm going to look into getting more of these cabinets. I have one of them, and I have one of them that is actually a hamster house at the moment. So I'm thinking of like maybe getting another one of these so I can put more of the Legos in there. Because I got some Legos for Christmas.
Yeah.
Let's see. Which one was this one? I got Luke's TIE Fighter.
Okay. Yeah, so I gave Pyson my all my Legos. I mean, we're talking ones that are really.
I already had this one, which is like, it's off by one. So this is the same. So 75-300 and a 75-301.
Okay.
I've got so much Legos to build over the last couple of months. I have not been doing any of that stuff because I did do some streams during summer, and I was like, yeah, this is actually pretty fun. It's kind of entertaining, but standing here for like hours is a pain in the ass and pain in the back, actually. And I was like, okay, I'll switch over to my desk, but if I do that, I need the time, and I didn't have the time to do it because I was working on a book, and until like the last day of the year, I was working on the book. I was like, yeah, I need to finish all this artwork. And so I finished 52 images, but yeah, that's a lot of work.
When I used to Lego as a kid, I look at the package, I look at the instructions for a moment, and then I just take all the parts. And if I felt compelled to build the thing that, I look and I go, ooh, I see that part in there. Ooh, that brick in there. Like, that's how I handle it as a kid. It's like, ooh, that'd be really neat for me to use. Let me buy 2 of those. Or, if whatever limited money I had. They were expensive way back when, when I was a kid anyways. So for me, I looked at as the kits as places for valuable parts, right? Or more bricks. But I used to just sort of wing it, and I get it right most of the time, and I would never follow instructions. In this case, I got to follow the instructions if I want to build
that's not a official Lego kit, right?
No, it doesn't have a Lego.
It is the
logo on it anywhere.
Sort of kit, or is it like a Gunpla style thing?
No, it just. I mean, there's nothing on it. It doesn't have Lego anything on it. And that being said, it could be official Lego that is made by Lego, but is like, licensed by or something. But there's no Lego logo on here at all.
Yeah. I think the brick patent expired.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. That's why there's so many Chinese
never stopped
knockoffs.
Anybody from, I don't know, it wasn't you, Andrew, otherwise known as Botas, because that's his last name, Botis. So he got me these knockoff. I don't care if it's knockoff, but like Stargate or something, right? And I built like one of the X1s or something like that, XO 303s. And the problem is, though, you could tell it was a knockoff because it was just not, the bricks didn't kind of, they felt rough. They just, you put them together and they would just sort of kind of fit, or might fit fine, or it was just like the quality of it was inconsistent. And then they were hard to push in. It was just like, you could tell it was clearly not an official Lego block. The difference was significant. So
I also got this one.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't. Is it flip for you?
No, I see creator.
Okay. Funny. It looks flipped for me. Kind of annoying.
It isn't for me. Yeah,
it's the Apollo 11 lunar lander one.
Yeah.
And then I have, this is not the gifts, but these are the kits I collected over the last couple of weeks.
Right.
And then I have this one.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Ecto one.
Yeah, that's neat. Look, I mean, you have adult money. You got to do whatever you want with it.
These were kind of expensive.
Yeah, of course they are. I mean, there is a. I don't know if it's still in the. I haven't been in the mall in so long because I don't know how it's doing since the pandemic. But they have an official one of the first official Lego stores in the U.S. was right there in King of Prussia. So you can walk in there and you can get all these specialty kits and stuff like that. And you can also buy bricks by bulk. They have them in like bins like they would put candy or nuts or something like that. You can go in there and you can just buy them,
We have a Lego store in Gouda as well.
Yeah. And as an adult, that money's got to go to other things as a priority for now. I think that's gonna be a this year thing.
But I got these cameras for streaming, like from a workbench. But then I sold my workbench PC because it was like, okay, I don't use it that often, and I've been not working on that workbench. And I was gonna do like soldering and stuff, but maybe just streaming some video games and getting some use out of the game PC by streaming desktop stuff with like my with some Legos. I also have I have the DeLorean, and I have one of these kits for it. Let me see it. Like they have these light my bricks. And they come
there's official Lego?
No, it's not official Lego, but they have official Lego pieces in them. But they have like little circuit boards and stuff to light up the
right. I know what people have been doing is they create their own kits, and because there's a lot of people who are they want to make big things, so they need to buy or trade bricks in quantity, right? And they have bags full of stuff, and then there are people who create their own like Back to the Future kit or something like that you can buy from them, and they're official Lego.
I think there's like 3 DeLoreans. I think there's like 3 DeLorean kits.
Okay.
But there's
I mean, there are 3 variations, right? There is the first film, second, and third film.
Ones. The Ecto one is. I think there's 3 of them, 3 kits.
Oh, okay.
Because there's a smaller one, I think.
Well, there's multiple movies for that too, so I mean that would also make sense to have different versions. Yeah. But if you have different kits, they must have different. Those are official Lego ones, though, right?
I know. I think I have.
The one you're holding up looked like it was officially Lego. It was in a box.
Yeah, it's all official Lego.
Yeah.
Just don't know what the number is again.
I mean, again, I have not.
10274.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to that moment in life where I have an abundance of time and no many projects, right? Because once I'm done with that,
I don't have
with the furniture and stuff, right? What am I gonna do? Like, I am slowly, secretly buying some appliances so I can so I can start cooking around here, get comfortable with that. It's only been 20 years since I have exiled my wants to cook because roommates ruin everything.
Or you have people coming over baking pancakes.
I bought a griddle. I haven't gotten it yet. I did buy a waffle maker. No, well, maker. But,
that's called
it's a waffle iron. Creeps that is extra, has a little extra height on it. So if you wanted to put things in it, like you wanted to do chicken and waffles with the chickens in the waffle, like a stuffed waffle. So I bought one of those. I haven't made anything yet because this is like the first week of the year where there isn't holiday and crazy. There was crazy for me this weekend. I had so much shipping and stuff to do, but this weekend was productive. Point being, I haven't had like a weekend of. There's not a lot of crazy intense stuff going on because that's the first opportunity to handle the stuff.
So you got some what's it was called again, the Lego kit?
This is the Astro Boy. There is on the label. It says.
Didn't they show it on Tested? I think they showed.
Oh, I don't know. But I know my friend Vic got it for me. I don't watch all the Tested things. I only watch them occasionally. I mean, I'm subscribed, but I'm not. I don't click on all the videos. Fantasy Astro Boy building kit.
Yeah, I think I have the. Yeah, there's a video of it.
Oh, okay. Maybe I should watch it because 1,200.
Is the company name
pieces.
Fantasy?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so that's this kit. I'll make sure I'll put it in the links.
Yeah, it says officially licensed Astro Boy, but I don't know. I haven't opened anything. I mean, it's well packaged and there's instructions, so it has to be. You have to do this with serious business if I want to do it correctly. Again, like I said, as a kid, if I failed at it, I just take it apart. I had extra pieces, right? For me, I didn't care. It was just fun building anything. And I never really looked at the kits because they weren't. Now the kits are extraordinary. You have this like tied in toys and franchises like the Ecto-1 and Star Wars. When I was a kid, that stuff just didn't exist. There was like a space thing, and I got the one with the monorail. That was a big gift that I got as 1 year as a kid. And then they had the ones where they had at least motors in it. You can do a little bit of things where you can get it to move or whatever. And I had a bunch of those too. But they were like a theme, like a castle one or whatever. Like there was none of these super special ones where you would build the Millennium Falcon or the Death Star. Like they didn't have that. By the time they had that, I was an adult. And by the time I was an adult, I was spending my money on other toys.
I was gonna make a joke about adult toys, but let's just not go there.
No, I didn't say that.
Okay. Anyway, the link for the kit is Polymatic link /185, and it is a Let's Build with I think it's Norm doing the building. Yep. Oh, they also have a LED lighting kit for it.
Well, this one is looks like the part number is 86203. And there's this is the clear version. So I would assume because you can see on what's on the box, it looks like I don't think it's like completely skinned, right? I think it's half, right? You have one side of it is clear, right? So you can see the insides of Astro Boy, and the other side is half of Astro Boy.
Yeah, it's they also have a separate kit. It's like $10 more. Is this the one with the kit with the light?
I don't know.
Is it HY?
No.
Oh. What?
Nope. 86203.
And then not HY.
Let me look at a number at the bottom here. I don't see anything that says HY. CCUKCA. So this must have been an import.
Yeah, so they have a lighting kit as well. So
interesting.
But it's like that's a I think that's a separate kit. So I don't know.
Yeah. Either way, it's really, really neat. And I looked at it and I was like, I don't know. Is it better just showing it as a box or assembling this? And he's like, Alan, this is Lego. I was like, yeah, I know. I said, and then I looked at it. I was like, oh, yep. It's gonna be. So my point is, this is not stream worthy for me because everyone will be tortured by it as much as I'm being tortured by it on camera.
Just do it. It's
not gonna do it.
It's kind of funny how inviting the people on Twitch are with like the Lego stuff. So that's kind of cool.
I'm generally following somebody, but I'm not always tuning in when he's on. But he does a lot of like Lego stuff. I follow one person who does Gunpla stuff, and every once in a while she's on, and I come hang out. But I'm not. It's not my TV in life. It just becomes an occasional supplement when TV doesn't have anything interesting on or anything I care about.
Did you get anything else cool for Christmas?
So JP got me a one of those mirrored teleprompter things, but I already had one. He didn't know I had one. This one might actually be a little bigger, and I intended to, in the last place, I had my mirrorless camera set up through the ATEM, as sort of my camera at my desk. And so I didn't reset that up yet here, and I intend to do that. And so what I was going to do is I was going to set up that monitor, basically. So that way I can look at the camera and see people looking back at me instead of looking kind of off cock. You see, like, for example, I'm not looking at this webcam. I'm just looking at you on screen. So I'm not doing this and talking to you.
Actually, you are there, and
yeah.
There's the camera. So it's like very close by for me.
So the camera is right there for me, and you are right
and
there.
Nobody can understand where it is.
I know, but this is just for your visual,
listening.
right? And you can see that's where I'm pointing at your nose right now at the monitor, and they're not related to each other at all. So he had bought that for me, and he's like, yeah, it's teleprompter and it's software, and it's real. And like, he, again, an example of someone who hasn't traditionally spent any real money on me is spending some, little bit of money on me. It's like, oh, that's really good. Has a nice little case too. But I had another one that I have. And I do have like an extra field monitor and stuff. So I don't know. Maybe I'll use it for other things. So it's neat. Maybe when I get around to resetting up the rest of the studio for podcast stuff, if we ever have someone remote, maybe I set it up here for other people to look at. I don't know. So
telepresence device.
Yeah. So that was neat. That was something that got me. But what that got me was really nice. Albert got me this a water bottle that has like a UV light in it to like kill like bacteria in it.
Okay.
So you think that's a little weird, and he's like, I hope you don't have this. That was the sort of the thing. Last year he got me an Ember mug, which I already have, but having extra ones is not a problem for me. So again, it's just a little weird. I think they're starting to have adult money. They know that they always get good gifts, and so now they're sort of returning that. And for me, it was never like a value. I know there are some people who gift that way. Like, all right, how much did you spend? Oh, I spent $50. Okay, I'll get you a $50 thing. Like, I know there's some people who operate that way. I don't. I get you the gift I think is fitting, right? If it's fitting and it's just a shirt, that's the gift you get. If it's a bunch of alcohol, a cold brew coffee liquor, then that's the gift you get, right? So,
at the office, I got everybody one of these Camelbacks, the Eddies.
Mm-hmm.
They're like with a little straw you squeeze with your teeth, to suck out the water. It's really good. It doesn't. I've already prevented 2 spills, so that's good. Because they're pretty much spill proof. That's really good for like office situations. Yeah, because if you have like a 1.5 liter bottle of water on your desk, you're gonna tip it over.
No, it's fine. And I got so this is the one from Tech Tips, right? Linus Tech Tips. And they have a pretty good. I went out of the way to get their extra. They have a better spout here because the one that comes with is okay. But this one you can twist it and it opens up, right? And it's like a screw top. Yeah. So it's really nice. And then I realized that I was like, I want these for my OGN water bottles for me, not other people necessarily. And so I went looking on Amazon and I found one that is literally exactly what they're buying, except it cost me less. I get 2 for the price of what Linus sells them. I'm sure he's ordering them out of bulk.
Exact same.
It literally it looks almost identical. It's like 1% different. So it's probably the same manufacturer that they're ordering the bulk order from when they sell them. And so I got a couple of them. I have maybe one extra, and although OGM water bottles, mine have that top on it, so that's nice. And then there's this guy. Is that nice coffee mug that I bought, but it has a screw top. Like I know it's not great, but you can hear it. You don't. There's a gasket, but you have to screw it on so it won't spill. So I can literally. So let me make sure that it's in. I can do this.
And he dumps very hot coffee on his lap.
No
and
problem.
He's currently screaming, running around in the room. And you'll never know if that's true or not because you won't hear him because we're on separate tracks.
Yeah. So the point being is that like, and it's one of those mugs that you leave hot something in there, it's going to be hot something in there for 10 hours. Right. It's that kind of mug. So, it's good. I get some version of that, not nearly as screw top sealed gasket thing, for the Auto Club. So, and that was the same place I got from the water bottles, and those water bottles are fantastic. I'd send you one, but you tell me no. Customs.
Did you have any use for the stuff that arrived too late for last recording?
What was it that arrived too late? I don't recall. I don't
Came in
recall
an
at all.
Amazon box.
Hmm?
It arrived
the stuff that you gave me. Yes. Yeah. I charged it, and I have this light that I use up here for sort of doing bounce light here in this room to sort of add extra light over the desk. It just, as a guy with lighting gear, normally you just accept where the lights are in your room, right? But I was like, nope, doesn't feel right. I need more light here. And so I have that thing perpetually on, not at the moment though. And, provides bounce lighting and it makes it feel more natural. So that's one of 3 lights that's part of a kit that I bought to use for filming. So I might swap yours in instead of for that.
Is it the same battery type as the other ones?
It is.
Because the battery is USB-C, right?
So what Viltrox has been doing lately, and I guess some of the like third party ones are starting to do this too. They put USB-C, so they put a charger inside the battery, so you can just charge with USB-C with it. You don't need to have like a special thing that you plug into the wall, or that is a thing that you can get that also does USB charging.
Yeah, because the Viltrox I have are like they have you have to have the special charger and stuff for it. But I just have it hooked up to a what do you call it? One of those just a power brick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, can you see that? That's the batteries on it.
No, I can't see it. Oh yeah, I can see it. I see it.
Yeah. So I mean,
is the battery attached to the thing? Oh no, it just slides off.
It's just a battery. Yeah. So yours came with a battery. That's what Viltrox is doing now. It's the MP F550, and it has USB-C on it, but it's not from Sony. This is their battery, which is still good. I have a bunch of Viltrox stuff. That's great. And then they have the DC adapter, right?
Yeah. So they still have the DC jack on it on the back.
Right, and yours came with the DC adapter as well. You got that from me. So I have that, so it's good. And I have a bunch of them too, because I bought them for my Viltroxes when they didn't come together. But yeah, so I might trade out that panel for yours that provides lighting in the room. I might also just take those 3 panels, and when I set up the table for for others, I might do the same thing. I might set up those lights in the room for other people who might be on mic to have light above them, because there's lighting in the ceiling here, recessed lighting, but it's not exactly in the center point of where I put the desk.
I have some extra new lighting, and I have them attached to a little clamp that I can twist, and then it unlocks the mechanism until I twist it again, and then it locks.
Oh, you're talking about one of those grip arms?
Yeah. It's really good.
Yeah, those are. I mean, there's a lot of them, right? There's no really one brand you can trust. They all kind of come out of a few places out of China with like somebody's name on it, right? There are some things that like Impact will make that is definitely clearly milled by them, or milled to spec for them, right? So the atom clamps and stuff, they're consistently, their version is much better compared to like the cheap knockoffs you can get. So I have a ton of those, and those are fantastic. But then you can get like a grip arm like what you were just talking about from Impact, and it's about as good as all of them. It doesn't really hold weight. If it's something light, if it's a webcam, it's fine. If it's like a light panel,
they
like
don't
these
hold
Viltrox,
DSLRs.
it's fine.
They don't hold DSLRs.
Yeah, they
Although
don't really hold
I have
some real weight.
the thing where the top camera is hanging from. That one is actually it is sturdy enough to hold the DSLR.
Mm-hmm.
It's really nice.
So it's one of those things where you can get it in position, and it doesn't matter how much pressure you put on that clamp. It's at some point it will fall. It will fail. And that's the only thing I hate about, because I have a bunch of them, and I like, oh, it'd be great if I did this, and I'm like, but I can't rely on them, which is why I end up, I'll just rig it up with a C-stand. I can do pull-ups on that thing, and it's fine, right? That's how good that is. So the grip arms are good in very, very limited use cases with very limited length.
I think I should just put some railing in the top of the room and just hang stuff from it.
They do have, they're meant for like temporary sets. They do have these poles that are meant to be extended and carry like hundreds of pounds on them of weight. And then you can get what they call the, I think it's called a Vulcan clamp, that you can get to hang on those rails that literally push against your walls. So you could get some of those, put those in that aren't you don't drill anything in, and you basically put them with pressure. So you want to make sure you put them against where.
Well, I own the place, so I can actually drill in the wall.
Right, I understand, but
as my neighbors have been pointing out all day.
Yeah. And then you get those Vulcan clamps that like you can hang rods and whatever and put up lighting kits. So I can send you links. I can find them for you. So, I won't do that here. I might do that in the basement when I'm ready to do it. Yeah.
I got the Steam Deck Plus. Did I have the Steam Deck Plus last time we had a call?
I feel like you were talking about it because that's how I heard about the.
Maybe we
heard about the Plus.
I sent
somewhere.
You a message on Telegram, I think.
Oh, you're talking about. I'm thinking the Steam Deck. I wasn't the. You're talking about the
Stream Elgato.
Yeah, the Elgato. Yeah. So yes, I don't know if you got it yet, but you sent me a picture.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good. The only thing I really want to do is make a mount for it for the Cintiq, but having that, it's kind of annoying.
Do they have plugins for that?
For
the
what?
Cintiq?
No. I mean like a mount, so I can mount it to the side of the Cintiq.
Oh, got it. So you don't necessarily control what you're doing on the Cintiq as much as you want to control something like stream related.
No, what I want to do is control the send key presses to the
hotkey stuff. Got it.
Yep.
Yeah. Has that working pretty well with the knobs?
Yeah, that's it. It kind of works really well because there's like an actual physical action instead of the swiping over a touch sensitive little dongle thing. There's an express key remote, and it's super annoying, and it keeps running out of power all the time, and you have to charge it, and then you don't have to charge it for a month or something, and then it's without power.
The problem, right?
And then when you charge it, and then you use it for like half an hour, starts complaining about, oh, there's not enough power. You can't keep using it if you don't have enough power. Blah blah blah. It's like there's a bug in the driver for that thing. So it thinks it's running out of power, but it's not really not. But like it's super annoying, and there's not enough buttons and stuff, and I really want to There's there's something called the dial stacking, so you can have like if you push the button switches to a different dial.
Okay,
that's kind of cool. That's really nice because then you can like switch between like size, maybe weight, opacity and stuff like that for like pencils and whatever. Yeah, and like rotation and
I was
zoom.
always, when I was editing a long time ago, I had that contour shuttle, right? And that was great when I wanted to scrub through footage or frame by frame or whatever it was. And the thing was amazing, and I couldn't really edit without it. And that was also the time when Adobe didn't have such good integration with like Control Shift and the wheel mouse, and they do now. So I don't really need it anymore, right? Because I could do like Shift, and the wheel mouse, right? And I can get through what I want really easily without having to like have a whole independent thing. And then I had always looked at and fantasized about like buying some of those with all the different dials and stuff. And I just found that one, I heard good, bad things. The loop deck apparently was like, hot nightmare from a software perspective,
Yeah.
and palette, same kind of thing. And it's sort of Snap and its communication mechanism, while it was neat, didn't really work very effectively. And it was a hot nightmare with software. And so like, while this should be an easy thing for people to knock out, historically, a lot of places just haven't. And so now it's just very easy. Control Shift and usually wheel mouse will get you all the little things that you kind of need in really good software. So that has been sort of my replacement, and I haven't had much need to use like special dials or anything like that. Though I see these things and I look at something like that and go, ooh, I can imagine how I might use that. But then it might be, well, I'm going to move a hand way too far away, right? And if I'm using my mouse for editing, I kind of don't want to move my hand away from the mouse, right? And so it looks like something that I could definitely find a use case for. But if I can't get that software integration correct, it won't serve a purpose.
I think that Elgato has had some experience with this so far, and it's been really good.
Now, I was talking about like editing, that inline experience, right? Where I might use it the most. And same thing even when I'm doing, with Audacity. In this case, though, there's got to be some really good use cases for, let's say, turning down the music in your stream or whatever, right?
Yeah,
so.
But also like you can use it for editing too, because you can make it dependent on which application is frontmost. So if you switch over to something else, right?
And I'm sure like you could rig it with like DaVinci if you want to use it for coloring and stuff like that. It might be really good for things like that, where you wouldn't normally. You have kind of different aspects of your color dial that you need to tweak in. So in that case, and maybe I can imagine a use case for that. It's not something I normally do a lot. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Stream Deck Plus Polymatic link /17F for that one. I also had some links to other peripherals. We were going to talk about peripherals today.
Yeah. Clearly.
That didn't happen.
We didn't. We don't need a 3-hour show.
Nope.
I didn't really.
You did buy the LTT screwdriver. What's your opinion on that thing?
It's good. So I bought a couple things. Even last year, I bought these. So there's a bunch of, like Anker is a Chinese manufacturer. That you can almost, aside from whatever these new security things, right? But like if you go get a power bank, right? If you buy an Anker, it's going to be good quality, right? For price value, you can guarantee it's going to be a really good battery bank versus something that's sort of like you have no idea, like, battery tech sync, like whatever these fly-by-night companies do that you can get on Amazon or wherever. So there's another one called, I think, Fantech that also does some stuff. And I started to buy, I bought stuff from Hoto, Hoto, which was like these little motorized screwdrivers, literally the size of like a pen screwdriver. And I bought one with a little bit better drive on it. So I bought that. And then I bought a couple more last year, from Fantech or Vantech or something like that. And they seem to be another one that's sort of like okay, they're sort of up and coming. I bought a really nice portable tire pump that I leave in my car. So if I have a flat tire or something, I have ones where you gotta like get it into the cigarette lighter or whatever and power it, and it's like it might not reach far enough. And this thing is literally you just take it up to the tire. And so they've been making some really neat little things like this. So I bought a bunch of motorized screwdrivers and stuff like that. And so when I was assembling furniture, the LTT screwdriver and one of these motorized things were the two things, and like, a hammer and a rubber mound, were like the four things I depended on the most when I was assembling stuff, because I had sort of the equivalent of the LTT that pre-existed before, their screwdriver. And they're kind of good, but like, how it is when you are working on something and you just kind of like, you have to reposition your hand, or you have to twist around the screwdriver in a different angle to make it work. And it just, you can get it. And then that's how screwdrivers of any degree, ratcheting or not, are always like this. Where in the LTT one, it's just like that impulse to do that one little thing and twist it or do whatever is there, where it never exists in this other stuff. So all these little fine details, does that justify its price? I don't know about that, but I can tell you, every time I got on those little weird situations, you just click the thing and do whatever, and it worked perfectly, right? And so that's the weird thing is, in having built a lot of furniture with all the other tools that I have that are definitely perfectly fine, good tools. But then I got to like, I got the screwdriver now. Let me try that. And I was like, oh, it's just so much easier. Plus, the interchange on bits. Well, I'm only interchanging one or like maybe three different ones. They have way more that's popped in the back there. That is just a little better, right? My only complaint is their bits are the neck of the bit is short. And that's not really a complaint so much as that it just feels like I'm going to lose those bits faster, right? Because there's double in the height, they were able to put double the amount of bits that are just sort of immediately accessible in the handle. Where the comparative is, no, you have to have like a case for your bits that you have to buy extra, that you leave loose in a thing so that you can, and in their case, they just, I didn't buy extra bits, so I don't have an extra case or anything for that. But the point is that like
it's
they're
kind of
there,
annoying that
it just looks like I'm gonna lose them faster. That's all. That's the only concern I have.
It's kind of annoying that they don't have like a store in Europe, because it's like you don't have any way to the European market could be pretty big for them, especially screwdrivers and stuff.
I think I'm at this point in everything that they make, I trust. Even the clothing, right? So I have some of the clothing. Like their hoodies have been good that I bought. I don't really wear the shirts. I really more wear the hoodies. And there was one, they have like this waffle shirt. And I had something from a clothing company that is long gone. We're talking like in the 90s and beginning of the 2000s or something. They sort of disappeared, well in the 2000s. But I used to buy a lot of stuff from them because they had good quality things that fit me, that was sort of my style, and I liked it. And I had like one of these sort of waffle-like shirts, except it was like 25 years old. It started to wear apart. And so I saw they had one, and I bought it, and it's literally almost identically exactly the same shirt, except made by them. And it's amazing. So their hoodies and their clothes and stuff that I've gotten from them have been great. In terms of the water bottles,
it's just the shipping.
Well, okay, so the screwdriver took forever, right? But if we're talking about like
shipping expenses.
Not for me though, right? So if I've ever gotten anything like a shirt or something from them, it doesn't come in 2 days. It comes in like a week plus, but it does come.
Yeah. Okay. So your the screwdriver gives you give the screwdriver the stamp of approval.
Yeah, I could be a little less in price. Yes. But it's a good screwdriver. So I'll give it that. And again, I put it to use. So that's how I have an opinion. It's formulated by actually putting it to use. So.
Well, they do the final assembly there, right? So.
I suppose I don't know.
Yeah, they had a whole video about it, like them in the creator warehouse doing like the injection molding.
Oh, really?
Okay. And then slapping the metal parts inside the plastic parts. Anyway, I got a Ducky 1-2. I already have that keyboard.
Right. Yeah, that was a picture you sent me.
Yeah, so I have one of those. And it's like I had one from my game PC, and for my art PC, I was using one of those Logitech K380s, and they're pretty okay. The only problem is Bluetooth. Bluetooth keyboards are fine if you have a clean area, if this signal is fine. And I've been having issues where sometimes I'm typing and I press the shift button, and then I start typing somebody's name, and I release the shift button, and it keeps the shift button on.
Oh, okay.
And I start to keep typing the name, and because I'm typing too fast, and I'm like, okay, I need to fix this. Now at the office, I don't have this problem. I can easily do this, no problem. But at home, there's something in this room or somewhere in this building that is causing interference on the 2.4 gigahertz spectrum. So it's probably
I don't know what I have at work. I bought probably like kind of what I'm staring at right now, which is I have a K800. And there was some keyboard combo where like I think the mouse came with something different. I don't know. I had another Logitech. It might have been something a little cheaper. Like it wasn't great. I prefer quiet, right? I like the feedback of a mechanical keyboard, but I don't like the noise. So I usually go for quiet. I like something with little key travel, right? So you can tell like cheap membrane ones, and ones that are a little better. And on this main PC, I have the Craft. And that's nice, and the knob is great, but it's really just used as a volume knob or to mute, right? It's really just used for that. So it's fantastic for that, but I've never gone out of my way to assign it to do scrubbing, and it just doesn't. I don't want to move my hand away from the mouse because I can effectively do everything I need between two hands.
For, right? I just got another one. I just got another one of those Ducky 1-2 pudding version because they look like a pudding.
Okay.
The keys look like pudding because they have a black top, and then the sides are transparent plastic.
Okay. So
they shine the light through. I've sent you some pictures of that, and it's I like it. And I can theme it according to my wallpapers and stuff.
Yeah, backlit is kind of important for me. I really do enjoy that. That's kind of I like dark keyboards.
I'm actually thinking of getting another one.
Right.
Getting another one for work. Just taking it to work.
The one that worked, it was just like whatever came with the PC, and it was just like terrible, right? And so I was like, this is killing me. Plus, it was noisy. So I went over to Micro Center, and I bought something, and I, just swapped it out. I didn't go to IT. I didn't talk to them. I just swapped it out. I don't know what I bought. It's fine at work. But also, I haven't been in the office in a while, so I've been in the office this whole year, so there's that. So the keyboard I use the most is the Craft, right? So, which I like as a keyboard. It's good. It's a little finicky. It was great when I had an office laptop and also my PC. You can switch between.
There's
1,
like
2, 3
profiles.
Yeah, and that was really nice because I could do that and then also have my personal laptop lit up and then switch to that and not ever have to change the
that's the same thing with
the
K380. It's really nice, but problem is that although it's pretty light, there's something with the Wi-Fi happening and it's not good.
Yeah, I guess I don't really Haven't
And
had
if I
that kind of
turn
problem.
on the headset I have nearby, which is a wireless headset,
Yeah.
the signal for the keyboard goes away.
Oh, got it. So they must not have enough, like, hopping on channels or something.
Well, I have a USB dongle, Bluetooth dongle in the top of the PC, which should be close enough. Looks like less than a meter away.
Yeah, I think that's the other thing is I always use whatever that universal dongle that comes with the Logitech's, right? Takes up a port.
This one doesn't come with a dongle.
Got it.
It doesn't even support it.
There were ones.
I have another one which does support it, but like switching to a different dongle because I lost the dongle for the other one. It's a K400, and for some reason the dongle is gone.
Yeah, you can buy replacements. It depends on whether. So now they have a new standard. I think they're going to commit to, but they had like the one that was tied to your keyboard. Then they had the universal ones, and then they have a new one or something that's going to be distributed. And I think according to them, they're done. They're not going to keep changing around. So if you have an old keyboard, the universal won't work with it. But if it's of a certain age, when they were giving you that universal dongle, it wasn't like only made for the K800. Is it like it was, a universal that you could use between.
Yeah.
And I bought some spares because I wanted one that was to use universal with something like whatever I did at work with my work laptop, and or if I wanted to use it at home kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it was nice, when you had the keyboard of all the right technology platform.
I still have an MX mouse.
I have a Mix Master.
One of those.
Yeah,
it
MX
comes
Master right here actually.
It comes with one of the dongles. So I can switch it over to that one, but I don't have any way to link those two. I have no idea how to do that. So I have to figure
there
it
is
out.
The Logitech.
You need to buy a software, yeah.
There's a Unify, like you can reflash or whatever to do it.
Yeah.
So I bought the MX Master 3 because Lou later talks or unboxing therapy. Everyone talks about, oh my god, the MX Master is fantastic, and it is a good mouse. But my sort of one of choice is the 903, the 900, the G. I like those mainly because right, yeah. So I have another one that's like a wired version, right? Which
this is the same as G502. I love it.
Yeah, or something like that. I think I have one.
I have two of them.
It's good for me. It's the tilt, right? The left-right tilt. That's important for definitely when I'm
editing.
When I'm editing, right? And that was a thing that Microsoft first had, and then now everyone's got. You can buy them in things, and the 900 series has them. The MX Master is good, and I had it for a work PC, right? Again, what I did is I'd push the button on the craft, right, from 1 to 2, and then I'd, go pull my other mouse out with my other PC. But since then, I've not used this thing or charged it. It just sits here in this little bin over on the side. I don't use it for anything. It's a good mouse, but it's not one I would choose for editing because I don't have that tilt function. Right, which I do use a lot.
Yeah, I have the 502 at work as well. I just like being able to scroll through stuff, especially if you're working with very big spreadsheets, going like left and right with the scroll wheel. It's pretty nice.
I mean, that's the same thing for editing, especially if you're doing multiple tracks and stuff. So it's just sort of built into the scroll wheel is everything with modifiers. For me.
Yeah. Oh, so we did end up talking about peripherals.
Yeah, I mean, just not what you had planned.
Yeah. I was like, oh, let's go over all the stuff we got for our environment.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really... Anything I bought was really for the house. Like, okay, I bought the waffle maker, and I recently just, literally like last night, bought a griddle. I don't have it yet. Because I've been just jonesing to make waffles and... pancakes, because I feel like I want breakfast, and what do? I can go have someplace deliver something, or I could just use my kitchen and make myself, it's not. It doesn't take that long, and make myself some
you have
pancakes.
full control of what goes into it.
And then you have better control what's going into it. No, there is one place out here. It's somewhat of a franchise. They have limited hours. They only are open between very early morning hours, and then I think by 2:00 or 1 p.m. or something, they're closed. So you can get good lunch and breakfast stuff that's not really like a full-on restaurant. It's called First Watch. It's that First Watch military hours, right? And so that's its origin. So their breakfast is fantastic. There's something about their waffles and their pancakes and like eggs. Everything is just high quality. It's good. It's not like crappy diner food, right? There's just something about their eggs compared to like Manila's, which I know is your love-hate diner anytime you've been out here. Their eggs compared to First Watch's is much better. Why? I don't know, but it is.
We should go on a diner rating trip. Let's find the best diners.
There is, maybe if we go across the U.S., I can't. Around here, there's really just Manila's. Everything else is sort of gone. All the good ones are gone, and not because of pandemic. That they were gone before pandemic stuff happened. But anyway, so the only kind of little bit of tech that I bought was so stuff I haven't put in yet. I bought one of those doorbell cameras, and I bought cameras, but I need the electrician to help me with some of that, so I got to pay him to do that. So I haven't put those in. I put the Ecobee thermostat in, and I had extra sensors from the last house, and so I bought them, right? I left them the thermostat, so I took my sensors. So I have 6 temperature sensors around this house, plus the thermostat. So that was the thing I did last year. But again, this is all home related. And the only one little thing I didn't do that isn't necessarily home related is I bought Faux Memo. It's like clearly a Chinese brand that makes very inexpensive portable thermal printers. So you get these little thermal labels. So it's sort of like you can just you can put little labels on things. So I recently bought one of those because I wanted to label these boxes that I have here. So I did that. So that's it. It's like $30 for it. And then, the app's okay. It's a little shady, but it works.
So for the Ducky 1.2, Polymatic Link says 17H. Right.
Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to totally derail you there. I just wanted to close out some peripherals aside from just the one conversation that you had intended.
One more thing we did talk about last time. So I said I was going to be at the doctor, like in the next week.
Yeah.
And I went to the doctor, and she basically just asked me, "Okay, so did you see your results yet?" I was like, "No, I haven't gotten my results yet." I was like panicking because I didn't get the results, because normally I would get the results like a day after. Like they would be done the day off, actually, and I would get the results the day off.
Yeah.
Of the test. And so I was like, yeah, I didn't know if it was going to be okay. And apparently I have a new doctor, so they didn't release it yet, which is kind of annoying. I was like, yeah, and they were having technical issues at the doctor's office anyway. But she was like, yeah, so you don't have diabetes anymore. I'm like, what?
Well, you don't have you're not reading in the numbers. Right?
I'm not even close.
Okay, that's good. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's really good.
I think there's if I knew way before. Okay, so here's the timing on it.
From what I understand from her, as like the way I attacked it and the catching it not in time, because I probably had this for years. I didn't treat it right. But the way I attacked it really made a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from like losing a bunch of weight, and also, I pretty much unfucked myself. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty good. Really happy about that.
Yeah,
and I'm still keeping to the at least low carb as possible. But like I did eat some actual food with family and didn't feel like a grouch over Christmas. So that was actually good. Yay.
So over
I didn't feel like crap afterwards, which is also weird.
New Year's, right? So I was away for those 2 days. And then when I got back, I was feeling pretty good. And I didn't necessarily eat tremendously bad, but I didn't eat necessarily tremendously well when I'm at Vic's. That being said, I got here and I was feeling pretty good. And then I went back into my routine of what I was eating around here. And I was like, I don't feel as good. I still feel like I'm halfway between feeling good and not feeling as good. And then I just sort of proceeded to continue my pattern. And I was like, why do I do this to myself? Right. And so, because I'm reacting to an impulse. Oh, I want this. Right. And then I get that. And I was like, well, I satisfied my impulse, but I don't feel any better. And I feel myself slowly, forcing myself back into that routine. And then again, I did it this other day where I just stopped myself from doing that, made a better choice. And then I had the donut that was like super tasty to me the week previously, and it didn't feel as tasty to me.
Was it because it was old?
No, not at all. It's just been sitting in the fridge. Oh. I like a specific one that you can get that's called a rich frosted chocolate donut. Rich like frosted. It's just basically, it's not icing. Sugar. It's basically a thin chocolate coating over it, and I like them cold, and it's fantastic. But I was using it as a thing I would eat in the morning to put in my belly so that when I start drinking coffee, it doesn't like totally twist my insides. And so that something like cakey or some kind of toast can do the same thing. I have some toast. It's fine. It's the same effect. So, but I had a hard desire because I hadn't had them in a while. And so I put them in the fridge, and then I have 8 of them to, takes a week or something to get
and
through
normally
them.
They would disappear.
But I had one yesterday, and it just didn't taste as amazing. It tasted good. It just didn't have the same sort of impact from the previous week. So I was like, something good and something bad is happening to me. So I got to figure out how to stay on the good path. And let's see if I can keep myself there. Because I was not making great decisions out of stress last year. And I was away for 2 days, which broke my pattern. So clearly my pattern hasn't been helping me.
Yeah.
So, and I can feel it, right? It's one thing to feel it and know it and ignore it. And it's another thing to, actually activate on it. So it's good. Congratulations, man. Now, just because you're that way, you have to keep doing the work.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't just sort of F off, because
I had
what most people do is like, I lost some weight. Great. I'm going to have 6 pizzas and some fries. Right? Like you're just, first thing, you lost a lot of weight because you never exercised, and the exercise, your body will start to do what we call water weight. It'll shed the water weight, and that's almost immediate. And then you get like maybe 20 pounds off. But if you want to be really working out, you actually have to work out.
Yeah. So, and I was working on the art book until like the 31st of January of December, and then on the 31st, I was eating some jerky, and I hurt my one of my teeth, and I got another root canal infection. So I was in pain for about a week.
Yeah, so jerky is real tough. Now, let me just say this.
And then the worst part about it is, I normally don't take any medication. Like, I don't like any painkillers. I really tried to stay away from painkillers as much as possible. But they gave me these. Because it was a lot of pain. It was like the worst pain I've ever had. Like it was like as if somebody was driving a knife into a nerve. Literally.
Yeah.
That's bad. What it was.
Yeah.
It was an infection, but
tooth pain is just the worst.
Yeah. So they gave me antibiotics and some 600 milligram ibuprofen.
Yeah.
The problem with ibuprofen is you're starting to gain water weight from that. So I was like standing on the scales. I'm like, wait, I weighed a little bit less last week. How the fuck does this happen?
I
was also drinking like so much water because I was trying to cool the area with the water because I was in so much pain. It was like with the water, it kind of took the pain away for a bit. So yeah, that was painful, and then I gained a lot of weight because of the water. But then I like 2 days after I started the antibiotics, it was the ibuprofen got scaled down because I didn't want to use it anymore. I was still in a little bit of pain, but that was fine. And the antibiotics kicked in and it was really good. So then the weight went down again. I lost the same amount of weight again.
Yeah.
Really quickly. Because I wasn't cooling my face with water.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, so then your body was retaining it, right? So, yeah. I'm sort of the same belief that I don't want to be so reliant on convenience drugs, right? That's your aspirin, your ibuprofen, and stuff like that, unless there's some reason for it. Now, that being said, I have medicine for my diabetes that does help, and I also was out of fish oil for a while, and I hadn't gone out literally the whole week, and then I finally went out yesterday. So then maybe that's why like the donut doesn't taste as well, because now my body is starting to sort of auto-correct whatever imbalance it was having, so it doesn't taste as it's just not as flavorful in the same way that I remember. And also I had a little sort of, not like crisis, but like I had switch of doctors at the practice, right? And so what ends up happening is, if that doctor is not at that practice reading said email at that location for your prescriptions, it goes into a void that no one is ever answering. So your scripts that are active but just need to be like renewed can't be renewed. So you have to go to your doctor, get a new doctor, go through a whole triaging, a new patient, a thing, whatever with them, so that they will sign off on your scripts, even if they're signing off on the same ones from the previous doctor. And I had a switcheroo on the doctor. The guy I had been with for years left that practice, went back into corporate medicine. Then I had a new guy, and he's like, well, nice to meet you. Have luck with life. And I said, okay. He's like, oh, I'm retiring like in next week. And it's like, you'll get a new doctor in 3 months. And I was like, okay. But in that 3 months, prescriptions ran out, and the pharmacy was sending stuff to the practice, and no doctor was on the other end of that. So I lucked out during the week I was off, and I called him up and I said, hey, so I don't see the other doctor until like March. So there are things I clearly probably need. Maybe I don't need them, but no one's renewing these prescriptions. What can we do about that? He's like, well, you have to see the new doctor. I said, great, but I'm all out of these things. What can I do about that right now? Oh, okay, sure, you can see the nurse practitioner. Like, it just seems like these systems are not built to help you. They're built to bill you. That's what's going on, at least in the U.S. So you said you have a switch of a doctor, okay? But
no, there's like I said the doctor. I went to the doctor on that Friday, but that wasn't actually. She's not actually a doctor. She's a diabetes assistant. But they are under supervision of a doctor, so that there's a doctor that stamps the thing, says, "Okay, this is correct." There's like,
Yeah. Well, but it was good for that stuff to get out of my system for a while, and now it's going back in, and I'm feeling the positive effects of it. And maybe that's that.
So you were out of that medication?
Yeah, I was out of a bunch of medication for months. And,
oh, wow.
And I don't know why, in the void of no one was answering. And you would think the old doctor would just transfer it to the new one, right? Or transfer it to the nurse practitioner, who would then handle it. But no responsibility is happening there. And I've had this over the years, over 20 years, I've had this a couple times when doctors leave and then you get assigned somebody new. And if there's no one on the receipt of the other end of that, the advantage is if I go and get lab work, they send me, in the portal, and also I get an email. So I, as a patient, get to see my lab work. I don't necessarily need the doctor to forward it to me.
Yeah, no, they do the same thing, only they didn't press the button to unlock it for me.
Yeah.
New people. So, yeah. Anyway. Fun times. So she told me that I could stop using the metformin.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I just got a new box. So should I finish the box or not? She was like, yeah, you can use the box. It's fine. Should be okay.
Mm-hmm. It can't hurt, but once you're done.
From what I understand is like the people in Spain, they take that medication, like it's over the counter. You can get it over the counter over there.
Right.
For like €1 per box.
Yeah, metformin is maybe an exception. A lot, at least in the U.S. So in the U.S., they'll make a medicine, and then it's like over the counter, doesn't cost anything outside the U.S. And a lot of the time, they put a high price tag on it that they know insurance will pay, and they don't really care about what the effect is to the patient. So if I go get a metformin and it costs me $50, that's the $50 from the $560 that they charge insurance that they've agreed to pay. And like that's kind of what happens in the US, and it's terrible that they do that, but they do that. In the case of metformin, what it comes out to me is like $6 or something to get. It's like $20 or something for a 90-day supply.
That's after the insurance.
That's after the insurance, yeah. So that fell into the inexpensive trap. And then the same thing for one that deals with cholesterol. It costs me nothing after my insurance. I mean, literally, I just pick up my prescription and it costs me $0. So I have like one or two that are like that. But that's just one of those exceptions where they must have had a lawsuit or something where they are not extorting metformin at a high price.
I think it's also because
the only reason that happens is because I'm sure if I look it up, there had to be some even maybe international lawsuit or something that happened.
I think metformin
to make
is like, I think it's a French guy that invented it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's really super inexpensive here for me, at least. It doesn't cost $50 a bottle kind of thing. But I do have an eye drop that costs me $50 for a single eye drop bottle.
Wow.
It's not even, it's maybe not even 10 milliliters. Like it's just, and that's what this is an example of. I'm sure if I went to Canada, or I'm sure if I went out to the Netherlands, you get the same thing. It probably cost $1. Because that's what they do. They
go on
make
vacation
all the money
in the Netherlands, and you can buy all the metformin and stuff you want.
Right. I don't need. Yeah. There is a Mark Cuban
come back
has
and just get arrested.
Mark Cuban does have a thing where you can get sort of like, he's sort of trying to create this upstart of, by mail, doing a thing where I could get all my, not all of them, but a bunch of them, that doesn't really require prescription, that I can just, pay for
generic
$3 instead of $45 or whatever it is. And I thought about doing it, but then I gotta like look at all my bottles with all the, proper naming and do that. And maybe I don't care about like, tell CVS stop autofilling it, and I don't have to deal with this sort of Dr. Switcheroo problem. Right. And, I pay out of pocket, maybe it's better. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's go over the fun stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. How many hours are we into this now?
An hour, 20 minutes.
Okay. Well, look, it's a catch up. It's a
every
part.
month is a catch up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's what the show has become. All right, so you start off.
Okay, Safety Third, Vsauce. So there's a Safety Third podcast. It's pretty fun. I really enjoy it. And they had Vsauce on, which is Michael. I don't remember his last name.
Yeah.
Vsauce. Michael here.
Yeah, that guy.
Polymatic.media/17J.
Yeah, the original Vsauce. Yeah, I bookmarked to watch that whole thing in full, and maybe I'll subscribe to it. Though I don't always have bandwidth for like 1 hour, 2 hour like podcast. If it's like
these
a
are very
Vsauce
entertaining to put in on the background.
Right. I have been doing that or having desire to do that when I'm working. But then as of late, sometimes I have to pause it for hours because I'm working. So, yeah, all right, that was Polymatic.link/17J. All right. So, Albert, Polymatic.link/17W. This is like an in-place print. I thought it was interesting and neat. I actually kind of like people have been really getting pretty creative and look, there is going to be a day I will buy a 3D printer. It's going to happen, but it's not going to be there in terms of what I want to do and when I do it. That will be one of those projects, right? That will be a project for me to always have, in my life. But I'm not there yet. Not a 23 thing, but at some point, I know I'm going to probably take that one of those spare rooms and I'm going to turn it into a 3D printing room. I know me. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I
totally didn't note it down for some place at the end of the year or something. Nothing.
Right. Well, look, don't. I have an idea of something that I want to do because I do love the idea of being able to print out a little thing, and it would take as long as like Amazon get it to me the next day kind of stuff. So, but I like something like that. Of course, you print it out, it's neat and great, but what do you do with it, right? You put it on the shelf. I have a whole bunch of shelves over there that have a lot of stuff on it.
Do you still have the replicator parts?
Right. Yeah. That's I think the value add there, right? To build a thing could be really useful. Yeah,
so much props. I really like having it for like stuff to repair stuff around the house.
Right.
I think there's so much stuff in my house that has now been, either made a little bracket or something like that. There's
or something
everywhere.
Or like I saw Linus had a video where he had these like little shelf things that go into and they always fall in his AV closet or whatever. We put a PC or something there and they're falling apart. I was like, dude, why don't you just design a better thing? So that solves your problem, right? And so
I really want, the only problem I have is that PLA gets brittle really quickly. Well, not really quickly, like in a year or two.
Right, so but if you get the right printer that can handle different filaments.
Yeah. So I have a FlashForge Creator Pro. That's a very old machine by now. Right. But you can print ABS with it, and ABS lasts so freaking long. But you can also print PETG with it, which is really nice because that means you can, it's really it's like PET bottles, like the plastic they use for like the cola and whatever bottles. Mm-hmm. So yeah. I really want to print PET on the Ender 3, but the problem is with the Ender 3, it has a heated build plate, but it doesn't have a heated build chamber. And the build chamber for the FlashForge is really nice for that kind of stuff but the build plate is so small, so I kind of need a bigger printer for that. Because PETG just lasts longer.
Stuff around here that like some part of me at some point when I spend attention on the garage, of course, during the wintertime, I'm not going to be in the garage, right? And then the summertime, it's probably going to be much more. But I'm going to put a bunch of work carts in the garage. But in the same respect, I also I haven't really figured out what I'm doing in the basement yet. It's just holding bins. I'm going to put shelves in there and put the bins on the shelves. And, at some point I'll clean up the floor. It's still sort of construction dust, but I still have a fair amount of room in there. And I could maybe that becomes, I get some work carts. I get them, I put some shelves or something and I put them in the basement and maybe that becomes my 3D printing room, right? I have all the club boxes and stuff. And when I set up the living room downstairs, the crap that I have in the corner, I need to put it into an official place. And maybe I do it in a spare bedroom. Maybe I don't. Maybe I put it up here. I don't know. haven't figured it out. It hadn't been a priority, but maybe I put a little workspace to put all the shelves of all that stuff there to organize it. So I go to the basement, I build the boxes, and I take them upstairs. Like, I don't know. I'll figure it out. But like, there's going to be a moment where I was just like, if I just had a little thing and I spent 20 minutes to go into CAD and, take a thing and extract it and make it a little bigger, great. Maybe it'd be really valuable for me to have around here. So that thought's always been in the back of my head, but now it's becoming a little more resident, more actively.
Well, especially since you have a house, you need to.
Right. There are things that like you either find it exactly or you make a compromise and you spend money and then you just take a risk. And sometimes I've had high success rate on that stuff. Sometimes it's just easier if I could just figure out how to build what I want. It would just be easier. In 8 hours, I would have it, So anyhow, Albert, that's what that was. Polymatic.link/17W.
Okay, next one is yearly themes. I think I linked this one for the last 2 years. Polymatic link/17K.
Remind me, what is this? I watched them all last night.
This is the CGP gray one.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah.
I think I've linked this the last 2 years so far.
It felt familiar to me.
Yeah.
There's definitely one that you had that I'd already seen. Okay, so all right, so this was. Oh, okay, I know what this is. The pinwheel or daisy, whatever you want to call it. I just called it new toy, but Polymatic.link/17X. This is really for you, John.
I don't remember what it is.
It's the person blew on it, and LEDs spin on a little PCB wheel.
Oh, yeah, it makes noise.
Yeah. I thought it was neat. I thought you might thought that was neat.
Yep. I don't know if they use the microphone or like the accelerometer or something like that.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so how does Aqua Regia dissolve gold and platinum? Polymatic link/171. 17L, sorry.
17L, yeah.
Yeah. And it's like it's a nerd rage again.
Yeah, I saw that. So this I thought this was funny, so I threw it in there. Yeah, I don't think our audience will be offended by this, but I called it Cat Earth. Polymatic.link/180. Do you remember what this is?
I don't remember what this is because
this is this girl. She basically said, "This is how we know the Earth is not flat, because cats would knock everything off."
Yeah.
I mean, I ruined it. But it's funnier to watch the video and not hear me say that. But I thought that was funny. It's like, all right, that's pretty good. I like that.
Okay, next one is a video that's kind of a response to a Netflix show. I think there was a Netflix show that was on that they had like a conspiracy theory stuff and whatever, and it was like,
I don't know about that, but
civilization sunk below the Azores from rare earth.
Yeah, rare earth has always been his thing. Do you know who he is, right?
He's the son of one of the astronauts, right?
Yeah. But regardless of that, he's always been sort of like the personality you see him recording. Like he is that way, kind of in real person. He's like a variation of a Vsauce. But he just chose to. He was a well-traveled person anyway, so he chose to do that. I used to link his videos in the past, so I subscribe to him. He's pretty good. He has interesting videos. So
yeah. So anyway, Polymatic link/17M for that one, and I think it's a response to one of those Netflix conspiracy theory videos,
maybe.
Like the History Channel crap.
Yeah, got it. All right, so this is another 3D thing. Just like, sometimes you just need like a headphone clamp or whatever. I have one sitting right here that I bought.
Alan's trying to tell us something.
No, I have many. Printer. I don't need more than I need. Literally, I have these really nice ones over here, but the problem is the little knob to tighten stuff, it's not knurled. It irritates the hell out of me. It's just plain old like metal. And so it irritates me, but I got another one over here for this headphone set. So like, no, but this is a 3D printed thing. I thought it was kind of cool. This is really just for you, not to tell you anything. I just, I thought you might enjoy this. Polymatic.link/17Z. If you just need a little headphone clamp, you don't need to spend $9 and you can just print something out if you're capable of doing that.
Okay, so Ghost Hunting with Captain Sparkle, Scrum, Kara, and Base Rate TV. Polymatic link/17N. I love these four together as like a team doing these kind of things. It's really enjoyable.
So this is just a I don't know if I ever shared. It feels like familiar to me, so I might have shared the first one. But Second Sight 2, number 2, because it's in the TikTok title that way. This is just like some nifty camera work, and you kind of see the behind the scenes plus the actual product. So that was it. Okay. Just sharing that. Thought it was nifty. Polymatic.link181.
Okay. Next one is Now Red is a Smelly Boy. Polymatic link/170. I won't spoil it, but he makes some smelly stuff.
Yes, he does. Okay, so this is like 2 parts. So I saw this. I felt like I had shared this, but maybe not.
Yeah,
this person, she makes dice. And this is old now, you don't make them anymore, but she made these Stargate dice, and part 1 and part 2, Polymatic.link/182 and 183. I thought it was kind of neat. Maybe commission her to make some more, I don't know. But yeah, she makes acrylic dice, and it's kind of neat. I thought this was neat. It looked like basically a Stargate. With some liquid in the center of it, so it looked like it was the pool of water.
It's kind of annoying that they don't make Stargate anymore, huh?
Oh yeah, I saw the license were pulled. It really was pissing me off. Because I went to go. It was like last night. I was like, I just want to watch something that for like an hour. I don't want to get into a movie or anything, and there isn't anything really that I want to invest time in. And I went to go look for the last place that Stargate would play, and it's like not available in your location. And I'm like, oh, in the US they pulled the license.
Yep. And it's been very hard to stream anything of it like through Prime over here. But yeah, it's I have not had any luck, and I'm at the point where I'm going to buy a portable DVD player, like one of those USB ones, and just rip the entire series off the DVDs I have.
So
because they come with the commentary as well, which is something I really like. Because the commentary is pretty good.
I never listened to any of the commentary.
They're so entertaining. Because they're more like they're not as much as like about and this technical thing and this technical thing. They're more like the actors being weird.
Like
funny.
A podcast with sharing
it's
the
like
episode.
A podcast, but about the TV show.
I have basically have all the DVDs, right? So like I have that, and I have been sort of, now that I have a home, and I'm probably going to install a rack in the basement, and I'm probably going to put a NAS in there, and I'll probably when I set up like the home assistant stuff again, it's probably maybe a 2023 2024 project, I don't know. But when I do that, I'll probably set up a jellyfin, and I'll start setting up a process to rip all my movies and stuff, so that every time that they screw around with the licensing, and I thought, maybe I rebuy the whole season, and I can buy all the seasons at $30 a pop off of
there as well. Until they say, you don't have access to that anymore.
Right? Yeah. So I can buy them on YouTube. Apparently, YouTube you can buy TV stuff, and I checked last night, and they're $30, $28 or something per season. But when you multiply by 10, and then you go, okay, what about Atlantis? Okay, and then what about SVU?
What about the movies?
Oh well, yeah, and what about the movie? Well, those, I don't know. I don't know that I ever had those. Maybe I had. I don't know if I ever bought them streaming. I mean, I do have them on DVD or Blu-ray, whatever. So,
yeah,
I don't know. I'm just at this point where it's getting irritating again, and they know what they're doing, and it's irritating. So now I'm at this point where I'm like, I stopped buying DVDs and stuff, but you know what? Maybe I just build a Jellyfin server and just, sort my stuff out.
Yeah. I just need like an automated way to capture those DVDs. Say, okay, so this is the stack of DVDs you need to go through. Just put them in a stack, and then they just drop in. Make an automated.
I know there were some. I remember Will from
Tested.
Before he left Tested, he had done some stuff like that. He had some scripts and some stuff. That's how him and Norm or something set up some process where they just drop stuff into a thing, and it just would rip, and then he just do that all the time, so he doesn't ever.
Do you follow TechPod?
Do
you follow TechPod?
No.
No, is this new podcast with?
Oh no, I don't follow any. I subscribe to the stuff, and every once in a while, I'll look at Adam when he sort of answers a question or something, if it seems interesting. But I don't really. They don't. When Will was still there, they had active things that I was interested in following, but they don't really do that content anymore.
No,
it's like just let's share my kit. Oh, I bought this new fancy, super expensive thing that an average person wouldn't have an extra $5,000 for a camera body to afford. Let's talk about how fancy and great this is, right?
I think you might like Brad and Will Made a Tech Pod.
Okay,
it is a podcast by Brad Shoemaker and Will Smith.
Okay, yeah, maybe.
So you might really like it. I'll link it to you later.
Yeah, but also it becomes that having the bandwidth for any podcast, really, which is a rarity for me.
Have you had any podcasts where there's ads in it, like that are loaded dynamically?
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
So there are lots of directories who rip my show and insert ads. But they're probably showing up as someone who is listed as a subscriber, knowing that it's coming from a source from a bot. Sometimes they get clever about it and they hide it. These are the
official feeds, like for example the ones that end up in iTunes, the official ones.
No, they don't.
And there's certain ones that depending on the I just punched the microphone. Depending on the location you are from. You get the ads. But for example, I get Dutch ads in my podcast. Now, so for example, if I didn't speak Dutch, that would be very, very disturbing.
So, are you getting that for any of my stuff?
In the middle of a podcast episode.
Are you getting at any of my stuff?
No. No, okay. I don't have.
So no, I
don't have OG in my podcast queue anymore.
Right, but okay.
Because I don't like anime anymore.
Like I would expect for anyone who's listening to the podcast via the YouTube channel, if they don't have I'm sure that YouTube is just doing whatever YouTube does, which is they insert ads.
Yeah, but no.
Even though the channel's not set for monetization because it's not large enough, right, for me to have control over that.
The problem is, like, normally in normal podcasts, you have like a moment where they put the ads in, which is makes sense. And
I can turn that
these
stuff
days they
on.
just do it in the middle of a conversation, just ad.
Yeah, I can.
Ad, end ad.
Yeah, I can do that with the hoster. They offer some program. I don't think. Look, I have audiences, and depending on the show, the different size of audiences, and I don't think there's enough money to be made there to irritate the audience, right? I'm not a celebrity, and I'm not advertising assets. Let me say it that way. So my audience size it'd be Steve on a live stream. It would not be okay, so what I have noticed over time, my as a human, if I do anything, anywhere from immediate 20 to 50 people follow me around. And I consider some of those people friends, right? I know them. Other people don't really talk to me, that they just sort of consume what I do. that's a me thing, just me alone. If I do something, there's like an immediate audience of 50, sometimes even larger than that just show up immediately. Why? I don't know. Maybe half of them are bots. I have no idea. If we're talking about like OG does something, we have a much bigger audience than 50, obviously, thousands. So, and it depends on how you look at that. But, we have a much larger spread on that. I don't know why, but we still do. So, but we're not celeb famous, nor have we gone out of our way to be some version of that. So therefore, we don't have an immediate million just sitting around always following us everywhere, right? So I don't imagine turning on an ad program is going to turn anything other than annoying people who listen, because it's an immediate small audience, not millions.
I've been having it on the Safety Third podcast, like on the actual podcast, on the audio ones, because sometimes I just have something that I'm on the go and I don't have a video thing. So I've been watching them on video because they don't have the ads, because I have YouTube Premium, so I don't get the ads. But like these ads on the audio it's so disturbing. It's so annoying.
If you have YouTube Premium, you can play that app and you can listen to audio only if you want.
Yeah, that's difficult.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I never do it, right, because I might just let the phone play whatever and I'm not looking at the screen, right? I might be doing something else. Or I can cast it to a speaker or something.
Yeah. It's kind of annoying. Anyway, speaking of influencers, Polymatic link /17u about Kamikoto knives. This is similar to the scam with the established titles.
Oh,
you hear about that?
Yeah.
Similar game.
Who
they were
was
sponsoring everybody, and they were actually the same company.
Oh, so Heavy D won, and he want to sort of debunk the established titles thing. He made a video on it. He want to define his plot and stuff like that, and put more insight on it. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't buy that stuff, right? It's like trying to buy a star for somebody. You pay $24 and they name a star after whatever you want to name.
But they also had like these knives. They were from Japan. They were real from Japan, but then it turned out to be just made in China anyway.
Right. I never heard of this place, nor was I ever interested. So
they were on different like podcasts and other places. Even Joe Rogan
promoted them.
Which makes sense because he just promotes everybody.
Well, I mean, look, at some point he's turned into a business, and for him, he makes good money off of it. Yeah. So that being that was Polymatic.link /17w.
17u.
Oh, sorry, 17u. So I don't know, with a lot of that, like if it's a professional chef that I trust, was it David Chen who does Momofuku? Like if he suggests like certain kind of chef knives, all right, maybe I'd go buy the brand that he recommends, but he won't be recommending one that's like some fly-by-night company. He'll be recommending one that like is actually like stuff that he uses from actual company that's 200, like 100 plus years old and out of Japan, right? So I don't own any of that stuff, but it's sort of who you trust, right? Is if Gordon Ramsay never shills anything, but if he does, I trust him more than like some fly-by-night YouTuber who knows nothing, right? If Babish, right, recommended something, I might trust him, right? Because this is his business, right? He isn't for him to be shilling crap, right? Because he was sort of, I don't know if he was ever a professional chef or not, but it's like Alton Brown. If Alton Brown recommends something, I trust him, right? But I don't trust whoever these shill of people that were in this video.
Yeah, like, they were like other genres of podcasts and stuff, and they were like shilling knives and
established like Logan Paul. He's gonna
crap.
tell me to get a knife set. I'm like, okay, it's clearly crap.
I think he's too busy with his his other scams.
His other scams, yeah, that people trust.
Yeah. Did you see the CoffeeZilla videos?
No.
Oh, I should link them. They're pretty in depth. They're like the CryptoZoo thing.
Yeah, I stay out of all that crap. My sister texts me all the time, and I'm just like, she's like, what should I be following? I don't know. And I'm just like, oh, sis, and I'm repeating myself at this point, right? Where I'm just like, don't be. I'd rather you spend money on go buy some Tesla stock, right? Than go buy a bunch of crypto you think is going to go off the hook, right?
Don't buy crypto. It is all a pyramid scheme. Every single one.
Yeah. Okay. So that being said, something that's a different scheme, but not a ripoff one. Ikea naming convention or scheme, I guess. Polymatic.link/184. I watched this video and I thought, oh, that's interesting. And then corresponding next time I was in Ikea, I didn't have any of it on mind. But it's interesting. There's actually a reason they name stuff the way they name stuff. So I thought that was interesting. So that was it. Polymatic.link/184.
Okay, so I got some music. Cafoon Tech It. I watched it. When you might have seen this song, heard this song on TikTok. I think it was pretty big on there for a while. Polymatic.link/17P and 17Q for the acoustic version. And then Finnegan Tui, Once I'm Gone, Polymatic.link/17R. Then Bobcore, you might have heard this one on TikTok as well. It sounds, I called it Bobcore because that's what people were referring to it from Bob's Burgers.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
because he sounds like that.
I don't know if it didn't sound familiar to me. The Kafune stuff kind of did. Which I generally kind of enjoyed. I enjoyed the acoustic version more.
Yeah. And then this Lemaitre Day 2, Polymatic.link/17V. I just added this because I liked it. So
yeah, it's not bad. Yeah. Okay.
So you can find Alan at Polymatic.link/Alan. You can find me on Polymatic.link/John. For feedback, you can reach us at podcast@Polymatic.media. Our Twitter is @ThePolymatic. Website is Polymatic.media. I hope you tune in next time.